Since its introduction in 2010 in an episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, the Darksaber has become an icon. It's not just one of the most popular iterations of the lightsaber, but it's also become an integral part of Mandalore and the Mandalorian culture within Star Wars. It's not all that surprising, to be honest. The Darksaber is one of, if not the most unique lightsabers we've ever seen. What may surprise you, however, is that there's a secret history with this weapon that no one else seems to have noticed. As one of the more mercurial cultures in Star Wars, it's no shock that the Mandalorian's history is often riddled with mystery, contradiction, and happenstance. But there's a story within that history, a legend, an unanswered question burning quietly under the louder stories that this weapon is involved in. I've wanted an answer for that question since it was first introduced back in 2010. I think I may have stumbled across the answer by complete coincidence. I have to tell you, this is huge. I'm also pretty certain that it's canon as well. So please stick around for this one. I'm really excited about it, so let's get straight into it. The Darksaber is an ancient lightsaber originally owned by one Tarre Vizsla. Vizsla was the first native Mandalorian to join the Jedi Order. Unlike Din Djarin, or the Fetts, Vizsla was born on Mandalore, and retained that cultural connection all the way through his time with the Jedi Order. It is said that after he died, his body was interred within the crypts of the Jedi Temple, along with his eponymous Darksaber, which was retained like many other relics by the Order. Now, Vizsla is one of the great families of Mandalore, known on their homeworld as Houses, and House Vizsla has produced many great and noble figures that we'll recognise in Star Wars. Pre Vizsla was the leader of Death Watch during the time of the Republic, and was a skilled enough fighter to at least give Maul a run for his money. He's also voiced by Jon Favreau, which is just a bonus at this point. Paz Vizsla is one of the Children of the Watch, a splinter faction from the original Death Watch and the tribe to which Din Djarin originally belonged. The Children of the Watch were decimated by Moff Gideon's forces on Navarro, and Vizsla is likely just as skilled a fighter as his predecessor, as he's one of only 3 Mandalorians that survived Gideon's slaughter. Paz Vizsla instantly recognises and covets the Darksaber as an heirloom of his house and a totem of right. The owner of this saber can lay claim to rule Mandalore. Like Pre Vizsla, it's likely this heavy infantry Mandalorian felt it was his family's calling. Though unsuccessful, he put up a good fight for it as well. House Vizsla is, as I'm sure I've shown, a major thread in the story of the Darksaber, but these aren't the only Vizslas that have played a role in the history of this mythic weapon. Enter Shae Vizsla. Although now relegated to legends after the Old Republic MMO was decanonised, Shae Vizsla is one of the coolest Mandalorians that we've seen thus far. She's the benchmark for ass-kicking women in Star Wars. I love Bo-Katan, but Shae puts Mistress Kryze to shame. In fact, I think she'd give most Mandalorians a run for their money. Not only was she capable of going toe-to-toe with Jedi Knights, at a time where the Order were in a cataclysmic war that turned every scholar and student into a super soldier, but she was instrumental in the success of several major Sith campaigns against the Old Republic. After the war, she retired, but far from a quiet life on a backwater planetoid, she stood against the forces of Darth Revan and survived, and went on to be elected as the new ruler of Mandalore after Mandalore the Vindicated was slain. She took the title of Mandalore the Avenger. This is fitting when you consider that she avenged her brother's death at the hands of the Jedi, Ori Aiden, by decimating their temple on Coruscant, and taking the Zakuul war machine apart following their invasion. Visually, I'm pretty sure Bo-Katan is based on Shae Vizsla, but in terms of deeds, Bo can't really compete. Her armour is iconic, and her actions would have been the stuff of legends had they stayed canon. Then again, I think one of them did. I think Shae Vizsla is the one that stole the Darksaber from the temple, and then used it to take control of the planet. Look, I'll prove it.
This lightsaber was stolen from your Jedi Temple by my ancestors during the fall of the Old Republic. Since then, many Jedi have died upon its blade. Prepare yourself to join them.
That's Pre Vizsla talking about the history of the Darksaber. Takes a lot for anyone to get into the Jedi Temple with thievery in mind. You'd need support, a team, or a whacking great Sith army busting down the door. That's exactly what Vizsla had. She had Darth Malgus and his legions of Sith warriors keeping the Jedi busy, while she slunk off into the depths of the temple and retrieved this great artifact of her house. With it, she could unite the other houses, call for oaths of fealty from Mandalorians everywhere, and her title of Mandalore the Avenger. Now, the reason that I say this is canon is because Dave Filoni is famously a massive fan of the Old Republic games. He's meant to have been hugely into KOTOR 1 and 2, and it's also pretty likely that the Old Republic MMO, which was produced contemporaneously to the Clone Wars, took at least some inspiration from the show. I think between Filoni's team and the story team for the Old Republic, they created two ends of the same legend. The Clone Wars showed us where the Darksaber would end up, continuing now right through the Book of Boba Fett. The Old Republic showed us how the Jedi lost the Darksaber, and the first in a long line of Vizsla descendants that owned and passed on this mighty weapon, all the way down to Pre Vizsla before he lost it. After the Clone Wars, and after Disney decanonized the Old Republic, the reality was that this story may not have been canon anymore. But I think Star Wars Rebels salvaged it. Fen Rao confirmed that the saber was liberated by members of House Vizsla, ultimately preserving the story. I can confidently say that this is the true story of how the Jedi lost the Darksaber, and where it was thousands of years before Din Djarin took it up, and perhaps we'll see him go on to claim the title of Mandalore the Redeemer. If you've stuck around this long, guys, I just want to say thank you. I love this story, and although some of the dates from the show and the game aren't the same, I still think this is a great way for Disney to tie some great Legends material back into canon. I really hope we'll see Din go on to take the title of Mandalore the Redeemer, and overcoming the heavy burden that this one-of-a-kind weapon carries. If you're new here, I just want to say welcome to the Star Wars Observer. I know some of you are really big on a lot of the Legends material, and while I tend to stick to canon, I really do love this story, and I think that it works as well, and I hope that you've enjoyed watching it. The debate between prequels, sequels and originals is pretty fierce, but there's some discounted Legends stuff that really brings the wolves out, so hopefully this is something that we can come together on. If you've enjoyed the video, drop me a like or a comment, or both. I'd love to hear about any of the theories or stories and legends that you want to see make a return in canon. If you haven't already, then join the community by subscribing. I'll be publishing videos like this one pretty regularly, and we'd love to have you at the Star Wars Observer. If it wasn't for you, or you think I'm talking out of my arse, hit that dislike button and tell me why in the comments. The Observer is for all Star Wars fans, but that means some people will like it and others won't. I think it's important that we get both sides. Thanks for watching, see you soon.